Speaking of terrorists, I was in around Oklahoma City. I don't know if it was right in Oklahoma City. It was like it was a Bonanza, one of those steakhouses. I was in there getting a salad or something. Went to I think the salad bar and had a big old salad. Anyway, as I was leaving, this big dude, big dude, they had a double door going into this place. It was I don't know if it was a Ponderosa, I don't know, one of those, those buffet steakhouses. Might have been a Ponderosa or something like that. Anyway, as I was leaving, the double doors, there was like two sets of doors, and they had double doors. Well, I was walking out, and this guy was so big, as he was coming in, that I thought, well, I'm not going to try squeezing next to him. So I just opened the door, and instead of going through it, and acting rude or whatever, I just held the door, and he was like, and this guy put off I don't know if it was a persona or aura, but man, it was like he was carrying around a big giant black ball of, I don't know if it'd be called evil, but whatever, a big black ball. He wasn't carrying it. It was like that's the feeling he was giving off, a big giant black ball of, I don't think it'd be called evil, but it was more like dangerous, or you don't want to mess with this, or if you even think of messing with this, unspeakable is going to happen to you. Anyway, he was dressed like a farmer. He had bib overalls on. He was a big guy. Tall. I don't know how tall he was. He might have been, I'm like 5'11", 6 foot, so he must have been 6'5", 6'6", or something. But he was as tall as he was big around too. And I don't know if this was kind of in the fall. I can't even remember what year it was. But he goes, you see there? And there was some people with him right behind him. He turned to him, and he was the first one coming in the door, and there was a group. I don't know if there was some females, but there was two guys, and two or three, maybe it was a couple guys, 3 or 4 guys. Him and a couple guys, a couple girls, whatever. But he goes, see there? That's what you call, I don't know if it was respect or something like that. And I was like, no, dude, it's just you're too big to fit 2 people through this door. And so, but I was like, what the heck's he talking about? What, he thinks I'm holding it for him for respect? I don't want to squeeze next to him. But anyway, that's what he said as he walked in, and the faces I caught, and there's just the evil, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, personification, aura, feeling, what do they call it? Anyway, a feeling or something like that, of just something bad either has happened with this guy, from this guy, or it was just like, I've never really been around something. Maybe I have. I don't know. But it was just like, it was like he was the Death Star miniaturized to a human being. And that's the feeling that he gave off when it was like, he said that, but it was just, I don't know, something about him. It was just like, boom. It was like, man, freaking evil feeling. But the faces I remember was the faces of who's the guy that did two guys that did the Oklahoma City bombing. And I don't have a distinct memory of them, but at the time, and then when I kind of remembered after I seen them on their faces on the years, whatever year it was that they did the Oklahoma City bombing, because this was before it. And then after they flashed their faces on, I kind of recognized them as being with this big giant guy walking in this Ponderosa steakhouse. And I was like, wow, man, this is one evil crowd walking in here right now. Evil. I don't know. It wasn't really, like I say, I haven't got a name for it, but that's something I ran into down around Oklahoma City. And so I don't know what kind of personification he gave off to those, but I wouldn't want to hang around that guy with having that kind. It was like not a bomb ready to explode, but it was like have you ever seen that cowboy movie where that guy's having to carry that nitroglycerin out of that building? It was an old cowboy. I don't know if it was in the 60s or early 70s, and he's having to carry the little vial of nitroglycerin out, and you know it's got you pinned to your seat, like because he got the warning of you don't even want a drop of this to spill on the ground, and they had this little beaker filled. They gave it to, I can't even remember what they gave it to him for, or why he was carrying it, whatever it was. But he's carrying this beaker of nitroglycerin out of his shack or something like that, and it was, you know, it was the whole tension scene was like he was like, if, you know, it was like really shaking, and he was walking, and you thought, well, he's gonna trip or something's gonna blow it up because he was, I don't know if he was like a main character or what it was, but it was like, you know, who'd want to be around? You know, I wouldn't want to be around somebody carrying a freaking vial of nitroglycerin. You know, if it's gonna blow up the whole place, you know, 30 square foot of where you're standing. But that was kind of like, I wouldn't want to be around him, but these people, he must have put off a different personification of them. And why I got the evil aura from him, I don't know. But I never seen his face on the, of course I can't remember his face too much because there was some guy that they said was connected to the Klan or something, but I don't, this guy looked older, and the guy they was trying to show looked young. This guy looked more like a ticked off farmer that, you know, back in the 80s, they you know, all those farmers that got screwed out of their land and stuff, because I can't remember what it was, but a lot of farmers lost land. He might have been one of those farmers, and then he was just on a retro revenge or something. Kind of like that guy screaming in Wolverine's, "Revenge me, boys! Revenge me!" But not laughing at that, just laughing at that guy, you know, in there. But that's, you know, is he the guy that motivated those guys to revenge him? You know, he was, you know, maybe they was needed some, why, I don't know what, I can't even remember the reasoning behind that. It had something to do with that. So, but anyway, there's another trivial story in my monotonous life. Whether you believe them or not doesn't matter, because I know if somebody says they don't believe and it's my life that I've lived, I can look at them and say, well, you wouldn't be very good on a jury, would you? Anyway, later.